I wanted to kind of get your guys' thoughts of this week. I feel like we could be 3-0. We're 2-1. But overall, what have you guys thought of just this week of Pistons basketball?
Yeah, I mean, my thought last night, we're recording the night after the Pistons NBA Cup win in Toronto. Like, I'm just begging for them to play a normal basketball game at some point soon. It's super fun. Like, I can't complain, especially after the season we just have, but the different ways that these basketball games have gone on, especially the endings, are like they really keep you on the edge of your seat. And man, it's just like I'd almost just love a calm, normal basketball game at this point. But all the credit in the world to the Pistons. Even, I mean, the loss in Milwaukee was the way they lost it was really tough. But in a game where you're playing without Jaden Ivey, Tim Hardaway Jr., Simone Fontecchio, that blew another big lead, but then came back to force overtime. Well, maybe not force overtime, sent the game to overtime after those missed free throws from Ron Holland. But I just thought it was great to see them at least stick in that one when the clear best player on the floor is Giannis. And that was also the second night of a back-to-back where they traveled. So tough loss, just I guess not the end of the world. And especially after they go to Toronto a couple nights later and get a win in another crazy way, especially in an NBA Cup game where they're now sitting 2-0 and they have their next Cup games are against the Pacers and Bucks. So those are tough ones, but hey, you split those, you never know. You can make it to the knockout stage, and that would be huge for this young team. So I've really enjoyed seeing them get up for those games, and then overall just night in and night out, at least playing competitive basketball is super fun to watch, although definitely anxiety inducing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that the variability for a young team like this is pretty great, right? If we're looking long term, you want these young guys to be put in different positions almost every single game. And whether or not they're finding a way to win these close games, I guess is neither here nor there. It's more just the fact that they are getting the experience. Like, how valuable for Ron Holland that he gets to go to the free throw line, game on the line, with a chance to win it with zero 0.7 or 0.2 seconds left, whatever it was, right? I know he missed it, and yeah, he didn't lose them the game, but he did lose out on an opportunity to win. But at the same time, like, that's valuable for the guy. He's 19 years old. He's going to be in many more situations like that, you would hope, in the future. So to get it already now, get it out of the way, be able to learn from it, grow. And you could say that same thing for the entire team, right? I mean, you look at in that Bucks game again, I think they had an 18-point lead at one point in the third quarter. They blow it. They go down 10 and then come back and still tie the game again. Like, that's so valuable for all these young guys. And for the fans, we're having a lot of fun watching it, even though it's a little tough on the heart. Maybe we're losing a year or two at the end of the lives here with stress. But, I think it's win-win all around. So I'm having fun. It's good basketball. It's entertaining. And, I think it's valuable for all these young guys on the roster.
I agree. I've been calling the Pistons the cardiac kids just because I have chest pains every fourth quarter because I don't know what's going to happen. I think one of my subscribers called them the Panic Pistons, which I think will just stick. These leads.
I like that. I like that. Panic Pistons. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather watch close games like this down to the wire than like last year where it's like 20, like 30-point blowouts. Like, you already knew the game was over in the first quarter. You're like, why am I watching this? Why am I torturing myself? I'd much rather kind of watch like competitive basketball this way. And JB's got these guys playing really well.
100%. I remember last year I wasn't watching a lot of games live because I was going to a lot of Motor City Cruise games. So a lot of times I would rewatch the Pistons in the morning with a cup of coffee, and I would know what the score was and I would just be dreading it. And like sometimes I still just rewatch something to just take another look, and it's not going back and like dreading being able to watch. And even if you're watching live, when they get out to a huge hole in the first half, it's like, why are you watching in the second half? And this year hasn't been like that at all. So it makes it a lot easier to watch as a fan, definitely a lot easier to talk about it. Yeah, I saw someone tweet out today that the Pistons are single-handedly bringing back like the cigarette industry, which I laughed at. Definitely not condoning it by any means, but I thought that was a great tweet.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny.